Do you ever feel like there's an invisible barrier between you and the men in your life? A quiet distance that grows over time, without anyone fully understanding why? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most subtle yet powerful forces in relationships, a silent killer of male emotional intimacy. And the truth is, most people don't even realize it's happening until the connection is already slipping away. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, because Decode Love is where we uncover the hidden patterns shaping your relationships. For many men, emotional closeness isn't destroyed by big conflicts or dramatic breakups. It's eroded slowly, quietly, almost imperceptibly. And this erosion often begins long before a relationship even starts. Imagine spending years being told, directly or indirectly, that emotions should be controlled, minimized, or hidden. That vulnerability is weakness. That expressing needs makes you too much. Over time, this turns into a deeply ingrained emotional silence. And here's the twist. Most men don't consciously choose it. It just becomes the only version of intimacy they know. But the real question, the one I want you to sit with, is this. What if the biggest threat to male emotional intimacy isn't what you think it is? What if it's not about unwillingness, lack of effort, or poor communication, but about a subtle internal conflict men carry every day? Let's explore one of the first silent killers, emotional shame. For many men, emotions like sadness, fear, or longing are often met with judgment, sometimes from others, but often from themselves. They believe they shouldn't feel them. And when you believe your emotions are unacceptable, you don't share them. You bury them. You stay on the surface. And intimacy cannot survive on the surface. The more a man suppresses, the further he drifts, not because he wants distance, but because he doesn't feel safe being truly seen. Another invisible force is the pressure to perform rather than connect. Many men grow up learning that their value comes from what they do, not who they are. They become fixers, providers, protectors, roles that demand strength, but rarely allow softness. So even in moments when they deeply crave connection, their instinct is to solve, not to feel. They look calm, guarded, or detached, but inside, there's a longing they don't know how to express. This creates a painful paradox. They want closeness, yet the tools they've been taught to rely on push intimacy further away. But the most surprising silent killer might be this: fear of emotional dependency. Not because they don't want to depend on someone, but because they were never shown how. Vulnerability can feel like stepping into unfamiliar territory without a map. When a man senses that opening up might expose him to misunderstanding, rejection, or disappointment, he withdraws, not to punish you, but to protect himself. The tragedy is that protection often looks like distance. Here's where curiosity becomes powerful. Once you recognize these silent forces, you start to see that the emotional distance in men is not a lack of love. It's a lack of permission. Permission to feel, to express, to trust their emotional world. But there's one more element, and it might be the most important: the silent belief that their emotions will be a burden. Many men don't open up because they fear that their vulnerability will overwhelm their partner or change how they are perceived. So they hold it in, hoping their silence keeps the relationship peaceful, without realizing that the silence itself becomes the very thing that weakens the bond. If you're listening to this and suddenly recognizing patterns, either in a partner or in yourself, know this: emotional intimacy isn't lost in a single moment. It's lost in the spaces where feelings go unspoken, where fears stay hidden, where vulnerability is quietly postponed. but those spaces can be reclaimed. Awareness is the first step, and if you want to keep exploring the real dynamics that shape love and connection, make sure you subscribe. Decode Love is here to help you understand not just relationships, but the emotional truths beneath them.